Hello, my starfish friend. Today, at least we're starting off with a check-in. I don't know where we'll go from there, but of course my first question, as always, was who are you? Who is this reading for? And we're starting off with a water sign, the starfish. Here we go. Beautiful, alluring, superficial or shallow? The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is, these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? When in balance, uplifting, artistic, and expressive. When out of balance, gossips, feels empty. To bring into balance, positive friends. All right, so this is supposed to be who you are, where you are at the moment. So I think that that's sentence in the middle here. The problem is these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. Okay, so you need to think about that. Are you obsessed with outward appearances, what other people think? Have you forgotten what you really truly want? Did you put it aside just to keep up appearances? All right. I meant to pull one of the Wisdom of the Oracle cards, also to, just as a check-in, who you are, what's going on with you, where you're at. And of course, 2 came out. And they are 41 and 42, which I didn't even notice till now. All right, we'll start off with 41. Soulmates. Essential meanings. Harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. The Oracle's message: you are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially, too. Soulmates can be friends for life or remain in your life for only a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gifts. Speaking from experience, don't expect it to be easy, because it won't be. And don't assume anything about the connection. Just value the change that it brings to you, the lessons, the growth. All right, the protection message. An important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me? But rather, what is the gift in this? Look into this mirror. You will only be changed for the better. All right. I know that it's very uncomfortable, and healing is usually painful, honestly, especially when you're talking about this kind of healing. But it is worth it. The more you fight it, the worse it is. That's the only advice I can give you. All right, 42, chop wood. Essential meanings: being grounded in everyday experience. Humility. The Oracle's message: there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom and the fruit. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to that which you seek. All right, protection message. Are you an armchair astronaut? Do you dream of wealth and fame, big ideas, inventions, or desires with a capital D? The appearance of this card is a sign that you might be devoting far too much time to dreaming and talking about your dreams. You have to get out of the chair to make things happen. You actually have to do something. Start with a small task, a small step. Remember, the big dream becomes reality only after you have begun to take incremental steps. Mythologist Joseph Campbell once said, "Take one step towards the gods, and they will take 10 steps towards you." So, you have already begun your journey, clearly, because you got the soulmate card. So, you're in some sort of a transformational connection, and it's time to be prepared to change, I think, is the real issue. And I know that many people have a certain level of complacency. No matter how much they might complain about their lives, they're familiar. And as I already said, healing is painful. Change is going to bring about the unknown. So people can be extremely resistant to changing, even when it is in their best interests. That may be where you are at right now. It may be that you are softening and beginning to allow movement to happen. I hope that's the case, because if you're in this kind of a connection, the more you fight it, the more painful it is, the longer it takes. And it's just not productive or comfortable to do that. All right. Let's see. Are there any other messages for you? I keep wanting to pull out the Wild Unknown Tarot, but I feel like I'm neglecting something. That's odd. I have the feeling of another deck, but I don't think I have another deck. All right. So, there's been heartbreak. Mourning, perhaps you're still mourning. I can understand you mourning your old way of life, because once a soul connection shows up like this, that's pretty much the end of your old way of life. There you are. I'm going to put that on either side for now. So on the one side, we have heartbreak in reverse. Although you may have a desire to end the heartbreak, everybody does. Nobody likes to have a broken heart. There is the issue of justice. Taking accountability. Cleaning up your side of the street is how I've heard it referred to. It isn't enough to just say, "I'm sorry." I've heard people say, "I'm sorry," and then stand there like, "Okay, I said I'm sorry, I'm done. That's all I had to do, right?" No, that's not all you had to do. You have to make things right. Clean up your mess. Not expect someone else to come along and do it for you. Maybe you're a person who isn't accustomed to saying "I'm sorry," or isn't comfortable saying "I'm sorry." This is interesting. But it is a necessary step. And now we have the Three of Cups, also in reverse. So I'm seeing a lot of toxic friendships here. The Three of Cups is a card of friends, of partying, of, you know, parties don't have to be bad, but being a partier, living that lifestyle is not conducive to growth. It's fine as a temporary phase, but it's not long term. It turns toxic pretty quickly, and that's what this Three of Cups in reverse is indicating, that you have lived that kind of lifestyle, perhaps are still living that kind of lifestyle, and it is interfering with your progress, interfering with cleaning up your side of the street. We also have the Father of Wands. So this is a crossing influence. Could go either way. But given the presence of the Three of Cups in reverse, I'm leaning towards a pretty selfish lifestyle. Because the King of Wands in reverse is definitely someone who is very much concerned about pleasing themselves and not really, wanting to hurt other people, but not willing to let their needs or concerns influence their behavior, and certainly not willing to give anything up for anyone else's benefit. So just selfish. All right, and I did get out a couple more cards. We have here the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So as I was saying, this is not someone who engages in healthy reciprocal relationships, which is reflected with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And here we have the Five of Pentacles. So you may be operating from a real lack mentality, a fear of missing out. Oops. All right. Let's see. I guess that was a pretty harsh message, wasn't it? I didn't intend to, obviously, but it's just supposed to be where you're at now. I guess it's bringing up things for you to look at, things to consider. I mean, you're in a healing relationship, or connection. I don't want to call it a relationship because a lot of times these things are very temporary. They're just meant to wake you up, shake you up, and get you moving in a new direction. What else do you need to know? Nothing else is coming out for you. All right. Let's go with a heart healing message. They tend to be a little more gentle than the tarot has been, so I feel like you're getting beat up by this reading. All right, heart healing message. You got lots of heart healing messages, I think. 2 of them. That's more than I usually get. Not unheard of, but here we go. Grieving heart. Open doors to something new. Well, you have the Three of Swords here, so that is heartbreak. So grief, mourning, it's a process that you have to go through, but eventually you do also have to move on. And then we have hurt heart. I see you. And this is the very first card in this deck. This is 13, this is 1. I thought the cards were centered better. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see what the book has to say about all of this. Hurt heart. Dear hurt heart, I know you carry lots of sadness inside you. Well, there we are, back to grieving. That it is very easy for you to take things personally and try to self-protect. You feel so scared, little, and vulnerable inside that you have needed an armor of spikes to protect you. At times, people see you as cold and calculating, but in fact, you are so tender and sensitive that if the armor was taken off, you could simply bleed out. I know this is not necessarily how you started out, but all the rejection, humiliation, neglect, and cruelty have deeply wounded you. I see you. I feel your pain is deep. I know there are many cuts and scars all over your heart, and that you have been hurt, and you have hurt. But it is a vicious cycle. Now is an opportunity to look back on the hurt heart story. It's time to cry the tears that have been frozen and start to bring more light to the buried pain. I promise to start to nourish you with gentle, soft caresses, love, kindness, and warmth. Heart healing exercise. Imagine taking out this hurt part of your heart and holding it in your hands. Visualize green healing light and send your heart this green light of healing, strength, and loving kindness. Speak to your hurt heart and let it know that it can become whole, wise, and expanded. Visualize taking out any symbolic spikes representing the hurt it has suffered and place them into an imaginary purple fire with the intention of letting go of old pain. Then send your heart emerald green energy with the intention of rejuvenating it. Place this energetic heart that has received healing energy back into your heart. Then take some slow, deep breaths in and out and allow the new healing energy to assimilate. Keep doing this process daily until your heart feels more whole. Well, that's certainly in alignment with the rest of the reading. All right, grieving heart. Open doors to something new. Dear grieving heart, I know you feel disoriented and confused. Losing those we love and are close to is always difficult, and you may be experiencing fear, hurt, and apprehension about the future. Your sense of self may have diminished as you have had thoughts such as, I don't know who I am, and I no longer know what I love, what I care about, or what makes me sing. You might feel numb or anxious and not want to participate in everyday life. Dear heart, it is important that you give yourself time to mourn your loss and heal. You also must gain the wisdom that this difficult experience has brought you. Embracing the opportunity to become more independent, shrewd, and clear can feel uncomfortable, but it can offer you incredible growth and self-confidence. Take some time to reflect on what you have truly lost. Is it love, friendship, understanding, help, or care? Reflect on how this loss can open doors to something new. Heart healing. Record on paper everything you gained from what you went through with a particular person, animal, job, or experience. What were the truly inspiring aspects that made your soul shine? Acknowledge those. Record what you feel you lost by having this person, animal, job, or experience leave your life. It could be anything from no longer having free time for yourself to losing your sense of self or giving too much of yourself away. Be super honest with yourself. Complete the healing by writing down what is possible for you to explore in your life without this person, pet, job, or experience that could help you heal, revitalize, and expand. So, my dear starfish person, clearly you have been going through a lot of growth and a challenging relationship, a healing relationship. So, It's going to take time for you to process all of this. And if this experience, this connection really has come to an end, at least you know that you are much better than you were before it began. Someday, perhaps you may find it possible to be grateful for the experience. But be patient with yourself. Don't push it. I am wishing you all the best.